New report just came out, which is now headline news, mainstream news. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Christopher Green. This is AMTV, Alternative Media Television. Thank you for your support, supporting us. Subscribe on demand if you haven't already. 14-day free trial. We need your support. If you don't like it, 14 days after free trial, then don't subscribe. But we need your help. We can't do what we do without you. It is now mainstream news that YouTube has been quietly censoring journalists who dissent against the government, that criticize, that have an alternative voice. Something protected by the U.S. Constitution, by the way, the greatest law of the land. First Amendment, freedom of speech, followed by the Second Amendment, guns, which protect the first, because without the guns, you can't do anything. Also something Hillary Clinton wants, by the way. This has been happening to us, our channel, our platform for years. Been kind of quiet about it because you don't like to bite the hand that feeds you, but now it's so prevalent, it's so mainstream, even the pop culture YouTubers, are coming out of the woodworks and they're panicking. People like Philip DeFranco that do pop culture, for God's sakes, they're not even controversial, compared to people like me, and their stuff's being banned, blocked, demonetized, quietly censored. You go back into our archives, people are like, oh, we want to see the proof, Chris, proof. Well, I've put the proof out there. I put the proof out there on Twitter and on YouTube. You can see all the videos, you can see all the demonetization, you can see the overt censorship. Anytime there's a gold dollar sign, that's a demonetized video. If you go back, for example, our channel, we've got 2,000 plus videos in circulation. Basically, the second half of all of our content that we produced, some going on nearly 10 years ago, all demonetized. It really is pretty amazing. They are legitimately disincentivizing the truth. Now, keep in mind, CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, they're fully monetized through YouTube and Facebook and Google, in this, social web, these monopolies. That's fine. They talk about rape, murder, the wars in Syria, Ukraine, Hillary Clinton collapsing these things. They talk about the same things. They're fine. But the war is against the alt-right, which I don't like that term at all. And to be honest with you guys, we are not the alt-right here at all. We are the alternative media. We are not the alt-right. Hillary created the alt-right. I don't even know what the alt-right is. They want to label it alt-right so that, they can call and label all of you like a KKK white supremacist or white, nationalist or, an insane asylum patient or a crazy crackpot lunatic who suspected Hillary was ill. What a conspiracy as she collapses and all that comes to light and we're all vindicated that it's the absolute 110% truth. Now this is all hitting the shelves, so to speak. Mainstream YouTube quietly, they say. I don't think it's too quiet. I think it's getting very, very loud, which is why, by the way, we need your support, why there's such a big push for it, and thank you for your support. Thank you so much. We need it. Very, very humbled by it. This is from Zero Hedge. There was also another report that I picked up through alternative media. InfoWars picked it up. I believe Reuters also picked it up. The antimedia.org picked this up. YouTube, the behemoth video sharing website, has now been accused officially of censoring users, claiming some of their videos have been barred from making money through the company's ad services. YouTube hosts like Philip DeFranco spoke out against the policy, claiming over a dozen of his videos have been flagged as inappropriate for advertising, including one ding for graphic content or excessive strong language. And he doesn't even know why. So he puts out this video titled, YouTube is shutting down my channel and I'm not sure what to do. And again, it's not just him. There's been now thousands of videos made. Pop culture YouTubers, again, they're like this much controversial compared to what we do, the real truth. Because again, we're changing the way people think. We are shaping and shifting and getting out the truth to the public, and we're creating a new dynamic and a new narrative, which again, the mainstream media, we talked about it in the earlier segments, the whole agenda is to manufacture consent through brainwashing and propaganda and that machine, right? Most of what people learn is from what the mainstream media is telling you, is what they perceive to be the truth. You see, we are all relying on the Clinton News Network. I'm not, but I'm just saying, relatively speaking, Americans rely from a very early age on what the TV tells them. If the TV tells them that North Korea is evil, and it is a totalitarian dictatorship, let's say, they believe it. But they won't believe that their own government is a totalitarian dictatorship, behind the smoking room, behind the curtain. They won't believe that. Have any of you been to North Korea? I would suggest maybe, I'm guessing, less than 1%, probably, if that, maybe less. Have you ever been there? You see, we all rely on the media to tell us the quote-unquote truth. But is it verified truth? Just like CNN, by the way, tells us, for example, that there's a ceasefire in Syria, but then we can pick up on cell phones from citizen journalists the bombings continuing, and the men, women, and children still being slaughtered. I mean, isn't the internet great? Isn't citizen journalism great? Isn't alternative media and the truth great? Because they can't hide it. If we went back even maybe 10, 15, 20 years ago, we would have never captured Hillary Clinton collapsing into her van just a couple of days ago. It would have been hidden from the public eye. But thanks to citizen journalists, and again, people won't even believe their own eyes. That's how powerful the mainstream media is. Even with the collapse of Hillary Clinton, people are like, I don't know, it's normal. CNN says it's normal. I mean, like I said, I'm not joking. Hillary Clinton could die on camera, take her last breath, and then the X's hit her eyes, and people be like, I don't know, CNN said that's normal. Like, she can still lead. Haven't you guys seen, Weekend at Bernie's? Like, that's still possible. Manufacturing consent, telling you what to believe without verification. The entire world around us, as we are fed the bullshit from an early age, the educational system, a place of brainwashing. And it's not that we shouldn't expose our children to any of it, but they need to be educated to think for themselves, to see through and wade through fiction from nonfiction and the truth, and to think for themselves. It's actually the hardest thing to do, to think for yourself. For example, I saw a piece put out by Natural News, which I thought was very, very good. I haven't had the chance to watch all of it. Yesterday, I watched a couple of minutes ago, and he brought a very good example to mind, top of mind, where he said, the consensus is powerful. Let's say there's a barn, for example. This is the example that he used, and the barn is blue. You look at the barn, you're like, that's a blue barn. But then thousands of other people that see the barn say it's red. So I see a blue barn, and I'm like, well, that thing's freaking blue. I mean, it looks like the sky, it's blue. It looks like the ocean, water, it's blue. But if everyone else says, well, it's red, I begin to question myself and go, I'm the outlier here. I see blue, but everyone else says it's red, so it must be red. We fail, and people fail to verify the truth for themselves. Again, how many of you have been to North Korea? How many of you have been, you think about all the different examples, and maybe you can think of some better than I can. We rely, all of us, on the mainstream media narrative to tell us what the quote-unquote truth is. But when you realize that they have an agenda, that it's a system of control, a system of power to elect certain leaders, to control the masses, to keep the machine going. I mean, we see this, economically, financially, obviously, at the Federal Reserve, all these things, and the quantitative easing and all this stuff, keep the system flowing. As you begin to wake up and elevate that consciousness, it becomes dangerous, actually. Dangerous to those that are brainwashing you. Just like Kim Jong-un, has the people marching. How do we not do that same thing here in the United States? We do it a little different here. We march like this here. How you doing, Bob? Good to see you, brother. Looking good. I mean, that's our marching. Marching to TMZ and Kim Kardashian's ass. And the pop culture society that makes up, and the commercialized society. I mean, TV is so deceptive and so evil in its very nature. You notice how small children, if you turn on a TV, even infants, can't keep their eyes off the colors, the bright colors. As Revlon sells them like, makeup or something like that. Or tune into the Disney Channel. Kids that are bonkers, like all over the wall, could be like climbing on this TV. You turn the Disney Channel on, they're just like, and you see the eyes. It's a system of power and control and deception. And it makes these people nervous, and it makes you dangerous. You see, they don't want you to know that. It makes all of us, the collective, very dangerous, because guess what? We're all starting to see what we've seen before, but also confirming that that barn is blue. It's not red. It's been a lie. And this shakes and rattles a lot of people to the core when they see the truth and they awaken and they come to that light. It's very uncomfortable, actually. I remember when it happened to me years ago. You know, it's almost like you're at the bottom of the ocean, but there's no water, so you see all the skeletons. It's kind of scary. The world as you perceived it no longer exists in the way that you thought that it did. It changes everything. Everything means something different. It's also scary to think that the government isn't looking out for your best interests, that 9/11 was an inside hit job, that the U.S. federal government actually murdered innocent Americans to scapegoat their deaths so that they could propel these wars. Like General Wesley Clark said, 7 countries in 5 years to go and slaughter people in the Middle East. It's very, very scary to understand that the financial collapse in 2008 and 2009 was an inside job, was engineered to collapse and fail in the first place, to transfer trillions of dollars of wealth from you to them. It's very, very scary. And it turns people's world upside down, almost like you're being shaken from your ankles, all the coins and, money falling out. You are dangerous. We are all dangerous to the establishment. The alternative is dangerous. And you know what I say to that? Good. Good. What is it, Will Ferrell like? Good. What an idiot. Good. We are all ideas are, and an idea is very dangerous. America, an idea. Our freedom, an idea. Our Constitution, an idea. Very, very powerful. So more of this will continue to come out on not just Google, but Facebook and the tech giants that make up the monopolies today that really are at the end of the yellow brick road, that make up, the Wizard of Oz scenario. Who's Dorothy, clicking her heels, Like, who's she? Is that the American public? She just kind of, dumb, just kind of following the yellow brick road? Maybe you guys have an idea, put it in the comment box below. Another report from The Hill indicates that Facebook will help gather questions for the presidential debate. Well, isn't that convenient? So they're going to, let me get this straight, Facebook, you're going to craft and engineer the messaging of the questions to be specifically asked to sell those ideas to the American public. Like, do you understand how much power there is in that? They're going to come up with all the questions. I've said this for years. And maybe, who knows, it'll happen. Maybe the next election. I would love to moderate. Or someone like me should moderate. Alternative media television should moderate one of these debates. Let the mainstream media do like one. Let us do one. Let us ask real questions. Could you imagine it? Because again, the questions are just as important, more important, arguably, than the answers. It frames and crafts the entire message. That from The Hill. At the same time, according to a recent Gallup poll, Americans' trust in mass media sinks to a new low. 32% say they have a great deal or fair amount of trust. Only 32%. Just 32% trust the mainstream media. I actually think that sounds high, to be honest with you. I think it's probably a lot lower than that. But according to Gallup, just 32% trust the bullshit mainstream media, establishment media that told them just recently that Hillary's health was a conspiracy theory, right? Which we know now is not true at all. It was actually reality and the truth. Just like what I'm telling you about 9/11 is the truth. Just like what I'm telling you about the economic collapse of 2008, 2009 is the truth. Just like what I'm telling you about the Middle East is the truth. Yes, I know it's scary. It is frightening to wake up. But it's the truth. Some people, they see these things, they come to they turn it off at first. They kind of go back. It's too much. I get it. It's hard to digest the truth. 14% of Republicans express trust in the media, down from 32% last year. And confidence is really, really dropping precipitously among younger and older Americans. And you can see the charts. I mean, it's basically just the Titanic, which is great, which is why they don't like it, which is why Hillary Clinton wants to label all of you, all of us, myself included, the alt-right. Well, I'm here to say we are not the alt-right. This is not the alt-right. This is alternative media television, the truth. We know you don't like it, but you can't stop us because you can't stop an idea. Thank you for your support. I'm Christopher Green. Get it out everywhere. Make it viral, hard-hitting it in your face. Click the link below right now. Subscribe to us on demand. Support us. We need your help.